Here we are.
This is Elvis, the ultimate fan channel, the global Elvis community fan channel.
That's quite correct. What she says is quite correct. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Elvis, the Ultimate Fan Channel, the global Elvis community channel. Yes, that's what it is. I don't mind saying it. I've got to, first of all, apologise for any sniffles or coughs or spits or anything like that, because I do have a cold. I will try and mute the microphone if there's any coughing or spluttering or anything, or sneezing or anything like that. So I thought I'd just get that out the way. So, as you can see behind me, a rather solemn sort of episode tonight, but we will try and keep it a little upbeat as well, because I'm sure Lisa and Elvis wouldn't want us to be too sad. First of all, I'd like to say our thoughts and prayers go out to those in California, for the people that have lost their lives and people that have lost their properties in the wildfires. We are thinking of you, and it's a terrible thing to have to see. We hope that everybody can stay as safe as possible. If you didn't, or if you haven't seen it yet as well, beautiful Olga. I think Olga is actually on the channel at the moment. Hi, Olga, if you are. Not Brent, I beg your pardon. Rick from Elvis A to Z, put up a video of Olga's visit to Graceland. So if you haven't seen that yet, pop over to Elvis A to Z, after the show, of course, not now, and watch that, because it's a very, very good video of Olga's visit to Graceland. So beautiful Olga. And also, before I forget as well, we will be doing the winner of the Fan of the Month, November and December, because I forgot to do November. It was a busy December, and I forgot to tell you who won it in November. So November and December's, clearing my throat there, November and December's winners. Okay, so what have we got coming up for you? We've got, obviously, Elvis' birthday proclamation. That's one of the topics. And also, the other topic, which we're going to do, you'll see above my head in a second, is in memory of Lisa Marie, because it is the 2nd anniversary of the passing of Lisa Marie. And that's always a favourite photograph of mine, of her and Elvis. He's laughing at her. He's sort of very amused at something that she's telling him. And the look on her face as well is quite cute. So, yeah. So let's all give a thumbs up to this video for Elvis and Lisa. So if you haven't given a thumbs up yet, please do. A thumbs up for Elvis and Lisa. We've got This Day in Elvis History. A live poll. The poll will tie in with the birthday week. Underrated Elvis song, a song I wish Elvis had recorded. Caption the photo, smoking hot photo. And you will, of course, be able to ring in and speak to me later on Discord. You can actually get into the queue now. I see there's a couple of people in the queue already. So you can join the queue and just wait there, and it doesn't cost anything. You just wait there till I say your name, and then you can start talking to me. And you can also call me on the telephone number on the screen. And you do have to put 353 in front of it if you're outside of the Republic of Ireland. And also Facebook Messenger and WhatsApp. You can ring me on those two as well. Just excuse me, there's probably going to be a lot of muting of the microphone tonight. Right, so without further ado, I think we should do this.
Hidden Elvis, clue number 1.
We always give the first clue before the quiz, and as you probably might know, Hidden Elvis is 4 clues throughout the show, and then you can put them all together and it should give you either something Elvis related. I'll just say something Elvis related. And the first clue tonight is Vista Vision. Okay, Vista Vision. Okay, so make a note of that and let that sink in. And then when we get to the end of the show, Paul Gansky, I heard from Paul, and he's doing okay out in California. At the moment, I don't think the fires are too near him. He can smell the smoke, of course, but I think he's safe at the moment. So thank goodness for that. Paul and Joan were instrumental in getting the Star cleaned last week when it had been vandalized. So Dylan says, Vista Vision, not a clue. Yes, it is. Vista Vision is definitely a clue. And what I'm going to say is I will ask you at the end of the show, and then you can put the answer in the chat. But without further ado, we will do the Fan of the Month quiz. And this week, it's Complete the Lyrics. Okay, now I don't know if anybody has seen Dave in the chat yet. Dave is supposed to be helping me moderate. Maybe I missed his name. I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Okay, so before we start the quiz, I might do another slug of this. Okay, now I'm going to give you a line, and then you've got to tell me what the next line is. Elvis Nation, Brent says, Steve, I can help you mod if you want. Yes, please. Yes, Brent. But that means, unfortunately, you can't answer. Okay, thanks for your super chat. Lie70NY, keep it up. Thank you very much. That's very, very kind of you. As I say, you can, if there's anything in particular you want me to see in the chat, because it goes so fast and I'm doing other things as well that I don't see many chat comments, especially when I'm doing the quiz. But afterwards, if there's anything you particularly want me to address or anything like that, you can send me a super chat, as Lie70NY has just done. Very, very kind. Thank you very, very much for that. So, I won't sing these. My voice won't allow me to sing them tonight. Yeah. It's the first one is, pardon me if I'm sentimental when we say goodbye. So I need the next line, please. Very kind. Welcome, Steve. Oh dear. Ian says, I disagree with Brent being moderator. Why is that, Ian? And it was, yes, of course. He's quick off the mark again. I'll do green this week. I'll do green colour. And it is Dylan. Because he said, don't be angry with me, should I cry? And it's obviously a fool such as I. So that was an easy one to start with. Number 2, I'll be holding on for dear life, holding you this way. Now, what's the next line? Laurie Beers. Hello, Laurie. Yeah, Brent knows I'm joking. I know, Ian. I knew you were joking as well. Okay. Banjo says, begging you to stay. Ian says, begging you to stay. Yes. A lot of people saying begging you to stay. And I know why. And it's simply because such a great song, any day now. So, and it is begging you stay. So, who was... okay, Elvis Nation says Banjo Paul. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I didn't play this for Dylan.
I was in tanks for a long time, you see. They rock and roll quite a bit.
And then I've got to also play it for Banjo.
I was in tanks for a long time, you see. They rock and roll quite a bit.
Okay. Right. Mark says, my favourite. Yeah, any day now. It's hard to beat it, isn't it? Definitely hard to beat it. Right. Next one is Whatever sets off the spark, a magic glow lights the dark. Now, what do you think of that? I won't say too much about this song because it'll give it away. So I'll wait till the answer's in, and then I'll tell you. Dylan says, "Don't know that one." Ha ha ha. And Margaret is waving the white flag. Deb H doesn't know. Then I'm intrigued by the sight of the city by night. Yes. Well done, Ian. Ian Mackay. Okay, Ian. Yeah, that's it. Well done. You get this.
I was in tanks for a long time, you see. They rock and roll quite a bit.
Vincenzo says, "You got me on that one, Steve." Yes, and Ian says, "The City by Night." Yeah, what a fabulous, fabulous song. And it's way, way, way above what I would term an average. We've all got sort of the knowledge of what an average movie song is. And then you've got City by Night and you think, oh yeah, that's way above what a normal Elvis movie song is in the 60s. It even got me thinking about maybe I should pick 10 of the best movie songs in my opinion, and then I could also get you to ring in and comment and say, well, also what about this one, Steve, or this one, or you forgot that one. I might do that one week. That could be the topic. In my opinion, what I think are the 10 best movie songs. And then, of course, you could pick Crawfish and Hard-Headed Woman and all that. Maybe we should just do the 60s and see what comes up. Susan says that would be a fun topic, Steve. Yeah. And Ian says, aye, as well. Okay. Here we go. Number 3. You like to bawl every morning. Juan says, I feel that I've known you forever is lovely. Yes. Yoga is as yoga does. You like to bawl every morning. Don't come home till late at night, says Tracy. And it is. Yes. Lie70NY says, I'm too young. You need to start getting to watch those 60s movies. Okay. So, yeah, it was Tracy. Thanks, Brent. Tracy, Heenan, and of course, Tracy, you get this.
I was in tanks for a long time, you see. They rock and roll quite a bit.
Right, so the next one is, I have wished for the wealth of a great millionaire. Ah, there's Dave. Good man, Dave. Hello, Helen. Right, now what have we got coming up here? Okay, yes, it's Banjo Paul, because it is Thrill of Your Love. Yes, I have reached for the great star above, bright star above. We'll allow that, Paul. Yes, Paul, Banjo Paul, I will allow that, definitely. And you get this.
I was in tanks for a long time, you see. They rock and roll quite a bit.
Okay, and the 6th and final one, you have to finish the line, the lyric. I kind of like the Beatles, so I headed for Las Vegas. And did everybody hit the thumbs up for Lisa and Elvis? Susan says, this is harder than naming the song. Yeah. What about Backwards Elvis? Okay, looks like it's Dylan. Only made it out to Needles. Yes. Yeah, Brent is agreeing with Dave as well. Now, Another fabulous song, just like Thrill of Your Love, is Never Been to Spain. And I think it was Rick from Elvis A to Z, posted a short on his channel there the other day of Elvis singing Never Been to Spain. And when he comes to that line, when he starts cranking it up, well, I've never been to heaven. And he looks across at the band and sort of smiles and shakes his head. I always look for that part in Elvis on tour. It's almost like he's saying, what do you think about that then? Dylan?
I was in tanks for a long time, you see. They rock and roll quite a bit.
That was a good spread as well. We've got Ian, Tracy, Banjo, Paul. Ian, Tracy, Banjo, Dylan, okay. I will be later on telling you who won the November and December Fan of the Month. And what have we got? We've got the topic coming up. Then we've got the poll and plenty more things. So we're going to do the topic next. And it's basically, I'm going to put this on the screen because, as you know, on Wednesday, it was Elvis's 90th birthday. And they do a proclamation on the front lawn of Graceland, and as you can see, there's the cake. And Elvis radio DJ Argo hosted the ceremony, which came under sunny skies but with temperatures that hovered around the 20s Fahrenheit. The day Elvis was born in Tupelo, it was 63 degrees. Close to 3,000 people assembled for the reading of the official city and county proclamation honouring Elvis, as well as a ceremonial cake cutting and happy birthday sing-along. Also featured speakers were longtime Elvis Presley Enterprises CEO Jack Soden and Memphis tourism head Kevin Kane. What about the number 90, he says, Kane asked. Only one person, one entertainer, can have a crowd like this at 90. I kind of agree with Kevin there, I must admit. Joel Weinshanker, managing partner of Elvis Presley Enterprises, thanked the international fans for travelling to the event, noting a particular large contingent from the United Kingdom. While acknowledging the Elvis's 90th birthday celebration, Weinshanker also noted that my job for the next 24 months is the March to 50, referencing the 50th anniversary of Elvis's passing in 2027. He says, you're going to be amazed as we walk into 50 as the new movie projects, the documentaries that we're working on. Elvis was a first adapter, so there's new technology involved. We're really going to be able to see incredible things. Now, I think he was probably referencing the Elvis Evolution show that's opening this May in London, which is like it's not so much a hologram show, is it? It's more of a immersive sort of thing. So anyway, things are coming along. Joel added that Elvis's granddaughter, Riley Keough, wanted to be here today but couldn't. But you will be seeing her in 2025 at Graceland. She's heavily involved in what we're working on. So I'd imagine that maybe he means you'll see her in August for Elvis Week. City of Memphis Mayor Paul Young and Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris also spoke at the event. Memphis City Councilwoman Pearl Eva Walker said it was an honour to be part of such an historic moment. There are a lot of exciting things going on, and to represent, I am called upon on occasions like this and other things like this that are unique to this area, and I am just so happy to be part of this. And I do have my dancing shoes on, she said. Following the ceremony, fans made their way to Elvis Presley's Memphis complex to enjoy cake and coffee at Vernon's Smokehouse before heading to the grand opening of the new Elvis 90 for 90 exhibit. Lisa wasn't mentioned, even though it being so close to her anniversary, maybe they wanted to keep the atmosphere a celebratory one. Okay. It's still hard to believe that she died at such a young age, just like her father, really, and that it's been 2 years already. With hindsight, it's easy now to say that she was in a very bad way at the Golden Globes, but I would guess that if anyone did say anything to her about it, she would have asked them to not make a fuss. A little like what Elvis used to say, hey, I'm okay, I know what I'm doing. I don't really want to dwell on that. I would prefer to remember Lisa from the photos we are familiar with of her daddy and the home movies we see or in the documentaries on YouTube here. So you can call me and give me your opinion on the birthday proclamation ceremony. I'd love to hear from anyone that was there during Elvis' birthday week. I was a little surprised how quickly the ceremony was over. I don't know what you thought. If any of you there now looking in saw it, it seemed to be very, very over very, very quickly and very abruptly. And of course, you can call me about Lisa Marie too if you wish. We've got to do the poll and we've got to do Hidden Elvis. So the poll actually ties in with that. And it's what did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony at Graceland on Wednesday morning? Good, I enjoyed watching it. Disappointed that no family were there, or I didn't watch it. So I'm going to start that poll now. Okay. And that should come up now. What did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony at Graceland on Wednesday? Good, I enjoyed watching it. Disappointed that no family were there, or I didn't watch it. Okay, now this.
Hidden Elvis. Clue number 2.
All right, so clue number 2. If you were watching earlier on, clue number 1 was VistaVision, and clue number 2 is July 9th. Okay, July 9th. Something's happened to my chat, and I don't know what's wrong with it. Okay, so there you have it. See if I can get that up. Okay, I'll just leave it at that for now. Now, what have we got next? We've done the Hidden Elvis clue, and I think it's time for this.
It's time once again for Dylan's Elvis Tale.
Yes, that's right, Dylan's Elvis Tale. And if I can remember how to do this, every week I get this wrong. Hi, Dylan.
Hello.
Well, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Can everybody hear Dylan?
Oh,
yes, they can. No, they can. I was only joking. I was only pulling your leg to make you worry.
You do this every time.
Yeah, but
By the way, before I get going, I don't normally do this, but I want to put a plug in, if I may.
Okay.
For myself and Brent's podcast over on my channel.
Oh, right. Yes. Fire away, young sir.
Which is called Mikey and Toro's Rodeo. And it drops on a Tuesday. And tomorrow, actually, we're going into the studio and filming an Aloha from Hawaii special because the anniversary falls on a Tuesday. So we're going to drop that on Tuesday. So if everyone would like something to watch on Aloha Day, apart from Aloha, please come along. It'd be nice to see you. Okay,
so give us the name of it again.
Mikey and Toro's Rodeo.
Mikey and Toro.
Yeah.
Rodeo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's great. So everybody look out for that now. And where is that available?
On my YouTube channel, which is called Dylan's.
Called Dylan's
World.
Dylan's World, yeah. Okay. Right, so where do we want to start with your tale?
At the beginning, I hope.
Yeah, yes. That makes sense, doesn't it?
So, I had this in the tank for next week. But Steve said, why don't we do it this week? I thought, you know what, that's a good idea. So I'm doing it this week.
Okay.
And it is about the Teddy Bear Don't Be Cruel medley. And I thought, well, since I'm talking about it, let's have pictures from Teddy Bear and Don't Be Cruel. See what I did there? See? Smart. And this is what it is. The genius behind it. Now, the original recordings from 56 and 57 respectively are in C major and D major, Teddy Bear being in C, Don't Be Cruel being in D. However, in the medley, they're both in C major, and this is why. They could have easily played it in both keys, because they did that for the Don't Cry Daddy in the Ghetto medley. They went from one key to another. But this is where the genius is for this. For continuity, is that a word? I don't know.
Continuity.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
That's the word. So for that word that Steve just said that I can't say, they put it in the same key so that when you listen to it, you're not getting whiplash, as Brent calls it, which basically means you're not getting jarred by it, right? Which means then, if you listen to one song, you go into the next without any hindrance or any problems. It just flows beautifully. And that is the genius of Glenn Harden and Joe Kershaw, for them to say, instead of doing it in two different keys, why don't we just let it flow, put it in the same key? Genius. Absolute genius, if you ask me.
So this was every time he sang it live in concert, yeah?
Yeah, in the medley.
In the medley, yeah. Okay. All right. That's fascinating, as always. Is there anything else you want to say? I think you wanted to say something about Lisa, didn't you?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of say that it's a sad day now, because like people always say, I remember where I was when Elvis died, but I remember when Lisa died.
Yes, of course.
It was a Thursday. It was a Thursday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, Thursday night for us, but Thursday afternoon for the American people.
That's right.
And I remember going to sleep that night. I was like, I don't know, this doesn't sound like it's going to be a good outcome. And then we woke up, and obviously she passed away. And it was like, oh man, it's you know that thing where at first, like, you're not sad, you're just like shocked. It's like, man, she's gone now.
Well, it was reminiscent of when Elvis passed away, because again, you see, it was the afternoon in the States, but it was night over here. So, we were sort of in limbo about Elvis as well, because I think it was about 10:30ish in the evening in England and Ireland when the news started to break. So we were, and of course, there was no, there was no Google, there was no social medias or anything in 1977. We just had the news, and we had the crackly radio to listen to Radio Luxembourg and all that as well, So not good at all.
Not good, but like you said, I think we should, remember Lisa for the person that she was, and not the person that she.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
And I think also, even though, that last link is, that last direct link's gone, we've got the grandkids and we've still got the cousins around. So his family is still with us. It's just the direct link isn't there anymore.
Well, she's the nearest we had to Elvis.
Yeah.
But
it's like what she said, in that speech on the last birthday that she was with us. She said, I don't go out the house anymore.
She said what?
She says, you're the reason that I come out.
Oh, yeah. You're the only people that can get me out of my house.
Yeah. And see, I think she meant it as a joke, but when she died, it kind of had a new meaning.
Yeah.
Because we knew that she maybe wasn't doing so good, so maybe she didn't want to come out. But I'm glad she did.
So, what did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony at Graceland? Good. I enjoyed it. Disappointed there were no family there, or I didn't watch it.
Good, but underwhelming. That's what I would have voted. Because, listen, it was good, but his 90th birthday, it should have been a bit more grand. I think it should have had a bit more weight to it.
Yeah, because 90 is a big one. It'll be interesting to see now what they do for the 100.
The 100 might be.
You're still suffering, aren't you? Like me, I'm suffering as well.
The 100 might be a big deal. Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Dylan, as always, thank you very, very much for that. And I look forward to next week's tale.
Next week's tale, which was for this week, which will now be next week.
Okay. All the best.
All right,
Bye. Yeah, there you go.
It's time once again for Dylan's Elvis tale.
I must get one that plays out as well, saying that was Dylan's Elvis tale. Or thanks very much to Dylan for his tale. because that doesn't make sense. It's time now for Dylan's Elvis Tale because we've done his tale. And as I always say, thanks very, very much, Dylan, for providing those tales week in, week out. I know it's not easy every week to think of a tale. Trust me, I know it's not easy to think of things to do every week. It can be quite a test some weeks. So anyway, don't forget, as I say, please give a thumbs up to this video for Lisa and Elvis. See how many likes we can get this week. You can do it if you're watching it on catch up as well. And I'm still asking you to vote on the poll. You can click it and it'll open for you at the top of the chat. What did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony at Graceland on Wednesday morning? Good, I enjoyed watching it. Disappointed that no family were there or didn't watch it. Now, I know, disappointed that no family were there was kind of a little bit of a negative sort of spin. I'm trying to keep this as positive as possible, but I know there are people that were disappointed that no family were there. So I had to give that as an option to vote as well. So let's go to the next caller, and that is Vincenzo. Hi, Vincenzo. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good.
So we've had a busy week, haven't we, with Elvis proclamations and birthday celebrations. But now, sadly, today is the anniversary of Lisa Marie's passing.
I know, hard to believe it's been 2 years.
Very, very hard to believe, yes. And as we know, 2 years ago, just 2 years and a little bit ago, Priscilla, who is a big supporter of this channel, was there actually meeting Lisa at Graceland and had a picture taken with her as well. And she got on video as well. So I'm sure Priscilla feels very, very sad as well today.
Yeah.
Tell me, what did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony? I know you watched it.
I was kind of disappointed there was nobody there. Like they could at least got even maybe Linda Thompson or Ginger Alden.
Yeah, but there was nobody really, really close to them. There was no family, and as you say, Ginger or Linda or somebody. Or what about Billy? Why is Billy never asked? Does anybody know why Billy is never asked?
I know, I could have gotten Billy too. Billy said, yeah.
Yeah.
Even one of the Stanley brothers.
Anybody that could have been sort of termed as close, but there was no, and especially with it being the 90th as well, it's strange. I mean, Joel. Yeah, I mean, Joel did say that Riley wanted to be there. I mean, was it anything to do with the fires? Do you think? Has she got any properties down there?
Maybe it was maybe it had to do with the fire. Maybe it could be that. It could be that too. Maybe.
Yeah, could well be. So you probably voted disappointed that no family were there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Vincenzo. Always a pleasure to speak to you.
Nice talking to you.
All the best, Vincenzo. Bye. That was Vincenzo. And we move on. To this man, and it is Brent. Hi, Brent.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for helping me out with the moderation.
You know what? It's actually not as easy to do as it looks. I'm like trying to keep up, and I'm looking up and down. So hats off to all the great moderators that you've had.
Yeah. Tell me about it. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do, is it? When you were doing the live show the other night, I was watching. It's not an easy thing to do.
No, it isn't. It's really multitasking. You gotta multitask with your brain, and that's even harder. But I'll tell you what, it was weird because, first of all, one of the first times I really became like a person that really subscribed normally to your weekly show, it was Priscilla that was telling her story of Lisa Marie. And I just remembered getting chills down my spine, because of her visit. She was giving her account of her visit to Graceland. Yeah. And seeing her right before her untimely passing. And it was... I think it's like for Elvis fans, I remember as a 5-year-old when Elvis died, and when I heard that what was going on with Lisa Marie, we were in the middle of doing an Elvis music show episode. We were all hanging out on the chat, listening to the episode. In fact, it was, as Dylan reminded me, it was Rick was actually the guest host, which, by the way, you have an open ticket. You have an open permanent pass, Steve. All you got to do is say the word if you're itching to get on and spin some more tunes for us. Yes. Because your playlist was awesome. But, thanks. I just remember, like, because her death wasn't reported yet at that time. Someone said on the chat, "Oh my gosh, did you hear Lisa Maria was just rushed to the hospital?" And we're all trying to keep like an up, kind of trying to keep it all together because we didn't want to speculate. But do you ever just have that where you just know that it doesn't sound good?
Yeah, it was almost like an echo of Elvis's death, wasn't it?
Yes, and at that time, I'm like, okay, we still have like 30 minutes left to do in this chat, and I just said, well, at the time I said something like, guys, let's not speculate. Let's wait to hear what they have to say. Let's enjoy the music. And it wasn't until about an hour after the episode ended, or 2 hours maybe, or actually a little later, that they announced that she had passed away. And it's just one of those things, you remember it like viscerally, where you were at. I could tell you what we were doing that day, and now that we know about a lot of the issues, we now have the gift of hindsight to say, okay, well, this was expected. But for a lot of us, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were a little bit in denial, especially when we saw her on the Golden Globes. Maybe we felt she was just having a bad day or something like that, But
well, not only that, but she was enjoying the buzz with the movie, like hanging out with Austin and stuff. And it looked like for that period of time, right before her passing, she was kind of enjoying this kind of revitalization of Elvis's image in a good way.
Yeah.
That the movie promoted. And it sounds terrible that she, of course, being that she passed away, but I'd like to think that the last few months of her life, her father kind of got redemption via the cinema.
Yeah, and I think it was the happiest we'd seen her in a while as well.
Yes, she was. She was joking around and everything.
Yeah. And
so if there's something to glean from that, it wasn't a year of everybody cursing Elvis and stuff. That Baz Luhrmann's movie did a lot to elevate our guy.
Yeah, as will the Elvis Evolution show as well, when that kicks off in May, because that's going to do the rounds, isn't it? It's obviously it's starting in England, but it's coming to Tokyo. It's coming to the US. I think if it's a success, it'll go all over the world. I really do.
Oh, I do too, and I actually think in some ways, it's kind of weird because I think with the newer fans that come along, they're going to be more enamored with the image than the.
I think we may have lost Brent. Come back to me, Brent. Okay. Right, Brent, I'm going to come back to you in a little while because I know you had more to say, so I will come back to you. But Mark, stand by because I will be coming to Mark. Mark needs to actually just remove the mute that he has on. And Brent, I will come back to you because I knew you did have more to say. So, Mark, are you there? Hi, Mark. Oh, I mean,
hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Mark.
No, you're Mark, I'm Steve. Okay, Priscilla, stand by. Okay. Hi, Priscilla. Okay, we seem to have lost our callers for some reason. I wonder if I put the call down and go in again. That might do something. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla. Yes, it does seem that we have lost. Yeah, we have lost. Not the internet. I don't think we've lost the internet, but I think we have lost a Discord. Yeah. Okay. Now, just let me know on the chat whether we're still live. And I think we have just lost Discord. That's all. We can hear you, Steve. That's great, Susan. Thanks very much. Yeah, it does seem to be that we have lost Discord. Although I do see that it is actually sort of back now, so I might just try. I might just try either Mark or I might try. Who will I try? I'll try Priscilla. Priscilla, are you there? Well, of course. Priscilla. Hi, Priscilla. Hi, Brent. No, we have actually lost Discord. So if you want to revert to Plan B, and Plan B is calling me on Facebook Messenger. That'll be fine. That'll be fine. Okay, that's a shame. And we were having such great calls as well at the time. Okay, right. That's what we'll do. We'll revert to Facebook Messenger. Hi, Brent. Yes, we've lost it. I will actually abandon. Hi, Brent. Yes, I will. Hello,
Steve. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We'd actually lost Discord there for a while.
Yeah. Most of my ex-girlfriends usually loved it when I would stop talking. So that that might have been a treat for some of the people out there. Yeah. I was just about to wrap it up anyway. Just saying that you were talking about the Elvis evolution, or however it's pronounced. I think there's just so many cool things coming down the pike, and I really think it's a time that I think we're really hitting a Renaissance era.
Yeah, and wasn't it great to see so much Elvis on the television as well this last week or two? The only thing is, I'd like to see it a bit more often than not just be the 90th birthday.
So much Elvis.
Oh, I know. And I think there will be some more things. I think Riley being young, and I think there might have been a good reason why she might not have been there, because she wouldn't have put all that work into that Christmas celebration a year prior just to all of a sudden drop off the face of the earth. Don't forget, I think she lives in California, so there might have been something going on there. But you know what? I just think I think there's a mythical thing about Elvis that's attracting the young people, and I also think that young people are really yearning for real musicians playing real instruments, showing real talent, instead of auto-tune kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should be too harsh on Riley and the girls, because, as you say, we don't know what they were going through out there. I mean, it's
to be a crisis, then we would feel really bad for us automatically rendering judgment.
Exactly, and it's not a great place to be out there at the moment. My heart goes out to them. It really does. All right, Brent, thanks for coming back on. That was great.
Steve.
Okay,
bye
cheers. Bye. Yeah, we're back up and running again now, actually. So I'm going to move on to Priscilla, if Priscilla would like to come on. That's brilliant. Hi, Priscilla.
Hey, Steve, my boy, can you hear me now?
Yeah, perfect. It was just a wee glitch with Discord. I think it went down for a second.
I think that's what they try to tell me all the time, Steve, but it's never really.
Yeah, well, Brent just said as well. His girlfriends used to be happy when they couldn't hear him as well. Listen, young lady, it's kind of a sad sort of anniversary, because just 2 years and a little bit ago, you were sort of standing shoulder to shoulder with that beautiful lady called Lisa Marie Presley, weren't you?
Oh, I will never forget the high. It was an immeasurable high, and it was an immeasurable low very quickly afterwards. Who'd have thought that, my bucket list trip would have even meant that I would have been in the same town as Lisa Marie, not to mention to have a few seconds of conversation with her and get the picture taken. And it was the most amazing, opportunity that I don't think anything in my life will
live up to it. You know, I was only thinking the other day when you saw her at Graceland on the 8th, and then we saw her at the Golden Globes a few days later. She had changed an awful lot. She'd become quite ill very quickly, hadn't she?
Well, you know what? That was something that somebody said earlier, and so I mean, I still have a level of guilt around the fact that maybe we spent too long. Like, obviously, she wasn't well because of what happened that week. Would I have said she was awful sick that day? Absolutely not. Did I think she had lost weight? Yes.
Oh, she had, yeah.
A tiny little human being. Because I suppose in my mind, which is very silly, really, like Elvis is such a huge part of my life that I envisage him being huge. And Lisa was our last living link to Elvis. She lived and loved him, you know, and so I was shocked at how tiny she was, like tiny in height and tiny in size.
Yeah.
So she had certainly lost weight. Her face looked thinner, but nothing that alarmed me or made me think there was anything untoward with her. Yeah, and I do think that just to go back to something that Ellen said earlier, that, you know, maybe she was joking when she said that, you know, you guys are the only people that can get me. I don't think she was joking for 1 second.
No, I don't think she was. No, I think she was deadly serious.
Yeah, and I think that Lisa loved her father's fans as much as it might have been a burden at times. But she gave, I can only talk for that one day that I was fortunate enough to have that opportunity. I cannot explain or put into words how kind she was to people, how, you know, how much time she gave herself. It was the morning, you know, it was cold for people who aren't used to the temperatures that I'd be more accustomed to.
Yeah.
She spent well over an hour going up and down that line, and there was some kids further up the line from me, smallies, like really smallies, 4 to 5 year olds, and she insisted that everybody stop pushing and give these kids space. They were obviously there with their parents. So, you know, there was another girl 2 rows back, and she just became hysterical when Lisa Marie came close to her, and she stopped and she said, "Are you okay?" She parted the crowd. That girl came through. She took a picture or autograph with her. It's like she had her senses. There was, you know, there was no nothing that pointed out to me other than I thought she was very thin. That there might have been anything amiss.
I think I remember you telling me that Joel was trying to hurry her up, and she says no.
Well, he was saying, you're going to have to stop. She can't do any more now. The tours will be starting. They're waiting to bring the buses. And she went, we're not stopping.
Yeah, good girl.
And she kept coming, because that was, you know, a good bit further down the line. Like a lot of the photos I took on that day, there was ladies in front of me taking pictures that had a better view of her, okay, than I could get. So I was taking pictures of their phone as they took the pictures.
Oh, right.
I thought what I was going to get.
Yeah.
Like, I was actually taking pictures of other people's phones because I couldn't get the angle. I never thought for 1 minute that it would happen the way it did. And
well, just remind us what happened when she came up to you.
So she had spoken to several people, and as I said, that young girl who was very young now, I would say late teens, early 20s, had become quite upset, and she had taken time with her. She moved up along. There was a lady in front of me. She signed the sleeve of the lady's denim jacket, and there was a friend of hers with her. They were chatting for a minute, and I just said to her, you know, Lisa, I don't know, somebody said I'm from Ireland, and she goes, "Oh, I love Ireland."
Yeah.
And I goes, "Could I get a picture?" And she said, "Yeah, sure," but I couldn't take the picture. I couldn't even hold the camera. And Kevin and Sophie were further down the line. They weren't beside me. So she said that she loved Ireland, and took the picture. And I said, "Can somebody take the picture?" So oh God, I can't remember her grief counsellor's name now. That man.
He took the photo, did he?
He took the photo, and he very kindly took 2 of the photos.
Right.
Now I look I look scared in both of them because I'm trying really hard not to cry because I couldn't believe the opportunity. Like just so many things happened in them few days. Like it was just emotionally exhilarating. And all I'm doing in all the pictures is crying because happy tears, of course. But and I was trying so hard. And as she walked away, I said, Lisa, thank you, we love you. And she goes, I love you too. And I just went, oh my God.
Yeah.
And it was obvious that day that that's why she was doing what she was doing.
I'm wondering if at the time she spent in England, whether she did either visit Ireland. She might have visited Ireland.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she did visit Ireland. They were looking at some castle down the country someplace, or I can't remember. They stayed here at one point. I remember reading.
Actually, now you mention it, didn't she mention Ireland and looking at a place in Ireland in her book? And she thought it was haunted, so she walked out.
Yeah, and she did. They have stayed, like they did. She did stay in Ireland at some point. I distinctly remember at the time hearing that she'd been in Ireland and considering giving up my job and going and finding her. Like I think that there are Elvis fans who say this is for Elvis, and but I think Lisa Marie is an integral part of that Elvis story. And I also think that she honoured her father her entire life in whatever way she could, at whatever time she could, and no more so than the Baz Luhrmann Elvis. And I'm so glad she got that time. I'm so glad we have that photo shoot where she's in Graceland laughing and vibrant and happy with Austin. It was just, I'm so glad we had that opportunity. I'm so glad she had that opportunity. I'm so glad she could see happiness.
Yeah, there's so many photographs of her and Austin, but the one that really struck me today was the one where he's hugging her and her eyes are closed. Have you seen that one?
Oh, it was sincerity on both sides, as far as I can see. Well, the photo shoot may have been staged. It was a genuine reverence for each of them. She was as happy with his portrayal as her father as he was to have the opportunity to portray her father. And to have her approval of that, there's nothing more you could have asked for. But I do think that out of a very, very dark time in Lisa Marie's life, to know that towards the end she had experienced those fleeting, brief moments of happiness certainly gives me some comfort, and I would like to think that other people would feel the same way. I think too that Riley said, in the book tour, that she had asked her mom over and over again to go to the doctor. There was something wrong.
That's right.
And I suppose as humans, like we forget they're not amazed. They're not superhumans. I mean, she's Lisa Marie Presley, but she's a human being after all. We all do it. We all get sick and we go, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Yeah. Mosey on. Or you get sick gradually over a time.
Yeah.
So you build a resistance to what it is. But Riley said that she had asked her time and time again to go.
Yeah.
And she didn't. So no more than her father, no more than me. I don't think anyone could tell me to do something I didn't really want.
Oh, I mean, they had to fight to get Elvis into hospital. The times he went, and he couldn't wait to get out again. I mean, nobody likes to be in hospital, do they?
Horse to water.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Now I know. Go on.
I just think that there was a sequence of events before Lisa Marie's passing that I think gave me comfort, and I hope gave her comfort, and I hope brought a little bit of light to that dark time that she was enduring. Yeah.
Now I know that it'll never live up to when you went in 2022. Is that right?
23.
Sorry, 23. I beg your pardon. Yeah, because we're 2025 now, aren't we? Yeah. But what did you think of the birthday proclamation this year? Did you watch it?
I did, Steve. I watched it every year, which is why I positioned myself in the position I did when I was there.
Yeah. I mean, did you enjoy watching it this year, or were you disappointed that no family arrived this year?
Okay, so I'm gonna cause war here now.
Go on.
I don't think we have the right to demand family be there at any point.
Yeah, well, this is it. Yeah,
it's a wonderful privilege, and I think Riley was fast approaching the 2nd anniversary of her beloved mum's passing, and considering the publication of From Here to Eternity and Riley's very comprehensive book tour, I think that I often think that the 2nd anniversary can be harder than the first.
Yeah. Well, it certainly. I don't think it gets any easier anyway.
No. And I think that, she had a very emotional year. I think we are safe and sound knowing that Riley's at the helm. I sometimes get a bit upset when people say that, she couldn't bring herself to say grandfather, or she doesn't say Elvis, or I just think, oh my God, please leave her alone. Please don't vilify her. Give her the opportunity to be the human being she is. And we need to remember that Riley is a very astute young woman.
Oh, I think so,
I've
yes.
said it before,
Yeah.
and I know I've said it to you.
Yeah.
They had Tupelo by surrogate, and nobody even knew.
She did well doing that.
She gave her child Tupelo as a first name.
Yes.
So how much more reverence could she pay to her grandfather? So I don't think we have the right to make those comments. I think she's living and learning and, coming to terms with the responsibility that has now been put on her shoulders, maybe at a younger age than she'd expected. I think she has 2 younger daughters, or 2 younger sisters that she, is looking out for. And I think that, I think if Riley I don't think Riley decided, sure, I just won't bother. I think she has a real life, real responsibilities, and maybe something happened in her own life.
I mean, we don't know what was going on. Yeah, it could have been the fires, or it could have been other things. We just don't know. We're not in a position to judge.
If it suited, and it could, accommodate, it could be accommodated in her life, I'm sure she would have done it. I mean, she is. And any of the claims she has for her acting roles, or her Mad Max, and she did it for her own bat.
Yeah.
She didn't use the Presley name.
That's right.
She didn't change her surname to Presley and gain all the foothold that you could have by doing that. She did it off her own back, and people didn't even know who she was then.
Okay, we'll leave it there, Priscilla.
I think that shows. Yeah, go on.
Okay.
I think that shows, and I think we need to remember that we should be supporting, not looking for the reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I think she'll be there in August. I think that's what Joel meant when we were seeing her at Graceland. Yeah.
Again, I didn't know at the time I was going to be there until I was in Graceland, that we got the email from the newsletter that Lisa Marie was there. I never expected anybody to be there. No. Lindy Harden was there as well. So, I don't think it's written, and I think if Priscilla had turned up, half of the crowd would have been happy and half wouldn't. So, I think you can't make all of the people happy all of the time.
Exactly.
I did think the proclamation was a little short for his 90th birthday, and I watch it every year, and it seemed particularly rushed. But then it was quite cold.
Yeah, it was. It was cold. Yeah.
Something that bothers me is that proclamation can happen on the grounds of Graceland, and they can all go across the road, and they can have, as they do at Elvis Week, have, people over there interviewed or chatting. Or it was his 90th birthday. It seemed to be over in a flash.
In a flash, yeah, and very abruptly as well. It was sort of bang, gone.
They all did look very cold.
Yeah, they did.
They all did look very cold, and they did have massive snow in Memphis the day after or the day after that. So I understand that, but it doesn't have to all be on the grounds.
No.
They could have something set up in the complex across the road. They could be interviewing people who would be happier to stand around and chat about Elvis rather than being out in the freezing cold.
Yeah.
I understand the proclamation happens, but in the event of it being, any kind of inclement weather, I think they could make provision. I think they could leave poor old Jack and
Jack looked cold, didn't he? Jack looked very cold.
The crater now. I think it was like elderly abuse at that stage. The crater.
Yeah.
I think that Joel, I always get myself into trouble for telling you things I shouldn't be telling. Rubbish, you PR machine. I think if they left Argo there the whole time, we'd be flying it.
Yeah.
I think, people weren't impressed with some of the people who spoke or not. I thought it was much lighter this year. I thought sometimes the proclamation itself can be arduous to listen to. I think just tagging it was easier.
And of course, the plus was there was over 3,000 fans there. That's a good plus.
I'm not surprised, and it was a weekday.
Yeah, and cold.
It was
weekday and cold. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know they have the cake across the road and in Vernon's place, but I still think that if it's a really cold, inclement day or the weather doesn't bode well, they can do the proclamation on the grounds. And I don't think any Elvis fan would be upset if they didn't do it on the grounds.
Exactly, yeah. So EPE, if you're watching, maybe if it's cold next year, take it inside.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Priscilla. All right.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Talk to you again.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Have a good week.
Same to you. Bye. Yeah, I never actually thought of that until now. Why does it have to be it doesn't necessarily have to be in front of Graceland. Inclement weather, take it inside. There's plenty of room across the road. We did have Mark in the queue, but when we had that little bit of a glitch with Discord, he dropped off. So looks like that's all the calls this week anyway. So we will move on to...
It's time now for This Day in Elvis History.
Now, don't forget, you can still vote on the poll. What did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony at Graceland on Wednesday morning? Good. I enjoyed watching it. Disappointed there was no family there or didn't watch it. I can firmly understand that it was very, very, very cold. That's why maybe it was a little bit truncated and maybe finished abruptly. But there is an idea to take it inside, that's for sure. Okay, right. So here we go. This day in Elvis history. And of course, as always, we have photographs to go along with them. 1955, yes, Elvis performed at the City Auditorium, Clarksdale, Mississippi, and there is the building. This marked a 2-week touring with Jim Ed and Maxine Brown, booked by Bob Neal. There we are. There's the poster, if you like. 1957, RCA had been anxious for some time to get new material for both a single and gospel EP, but Elvis had been unwilling to record in Nashville. Elvis started with his... Oh, hang on, we do have a call here. Hang on a second. I'll stop there in 1957 and see what we got here. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, is that Juan?
It is. Hi, Steve. Have I disturbed your show?
No, definitely not. No, I'm always pleased to take callers, and especially you as well. How are you doing, my friend?
Very good, thank you. Very good indeed. I had a couple of busy weekends. Obviously, being a professional singer, Christmas is always a busy time.
Yeah.
You cram as many concerts as you can, and then try and get as much rest as you can through parts of January then. The reason I called Steve, I just thought it would be nice. I don't normally share things publicly. I'm not... it's not my personality to sort of blurt things out, but I thought it would be nice for your viewers if I could, if you would allow me to share something very brief but very personal,
yes,
which is in keeping with everything that you've been speaking about tonight. I had an experience, and this is just my tribute to Lisa Marie Presley.
All right.
I had an experience a number of years back where I had played the piano. I was invited very graciously by the piano players who were playing in a bar on Beale Street called Silky Sullivan's, and I'd been asked to, and I sang one of our boys' songs. I sang "There's Always Me" and played the piano, and the audience there were very appreciative, and I I was quite overwhelmed. So I tried to find the corner of the bar and make myself look as inconspicuous as I could. But over the course of the next few minutes, there'd been a Philharmonic show that Priscilla had put on down at the FedEx Arena. I know maybe most of the people listening would have been there, perhaps, in their pilgrimages. But anyway, I didn't know a great deal about the rest of the family, to be honest with you. So when a charming young lad came in and stood right at my side, he reminded me of my own nephew, a tall lad, about 6 feet, 6'1" tall. And I had just ordered, this is the funny part of the story, I had just ordered what I was hoping was a vodka with lemonade and lime. But lemonade in the United States is not our lemonade. And it's very, very different. So they had prepared me a vodka and they just squeezed some soda water into that. And they'd added a couple of chunks of lime. So it wasn't the tastiest vodka they'd ever had. But this lad, I just took an instant shine to him and I said, "Hey," I said, "you're a good-looking boy." And he said to me, "Hey, you ain't too bad yourself." So we just hit it off. And I said, "Would you like one of these?" He said, "Sure, I'll take one of those." And we entered into a conversation for about 20 minutes, a beautiful conversation, because he asked me what I did. And I said, "I'm a professional musician. I play piano, I play bass, I play guitar, I sing." And he said, "Oh, I'm in a band too." He said, "Where are you from?" I said, "From Wales." And I'm from a little town in Wales called Merthyr Tydfil. So I always tell people that I come from Cardiff, which is 20 miles away.
Yeah.
But most people, even Americans, have heard of Cardiff.
Yeah.
And he turned to the chap with him, whose name was Ryan, and he said, "Hey, Ryan, this guy's from Cardiff." He said, "You remember when we played in Cardiff?" And I thought, "Oh, I'm talking to another musician." And I gathered then that they were fellow band members, you know. But what came across with this boy, he was so sensitive and so lovely, so well-mannered, and he was very grateful for the vodka I'd bought him. But then somebody started tugging my shoulder, tugging my coat, digging me in the ribs. I realized that for the last 20 minutes, I'd been talking to Benjamin Keough, Elvis's only grandson, you know.
I don't believe it.
I'm very touched talking about it now, and like I say, I'm not one to name drop anyone who knows me personally, but I just wanted to say I've become emotional talking about him again because he was such a lovely lad, Steve, such a lovely lad. You know, the time just went, you know, and I think. The first thing I'll say about it is I think he felt comfortable in the fact that he picked up that I didn't have any clue who he was. I had no idea who he was. Yeah. I should have, because it was Elvis week and they were playing Kid Galahad on all the television screens in that pub. Yeah. And if I'd looked up and seen the same heavy-lidded eyes, I would have realised. Oh my goodness!
Once you realised that it was Benjamin, you obviously thought, "Wow, yeah, he does. Look how much he looks like Elvis."
Yes, because Elvis was still on the screen. It was in one of the scenes with Keough, you know, where Elvis is having an argument about going out with, you know, the bit in the movie where he's saying that he's going to marry Rose Grogan. You know that part. Yeah. And Willie, the brother, doesn't want him to marry Elvis to marry her. So I was looking over Benjamin's head and I'm thinking, "Oh my goodness, you really are like your granddad," you know. Yeah. But I realized what was lovely, it made everything so human, so real to me, that it made Elvis real. You know, I thought, this is his flesh and blood, who's had the time for the last 20 minutes, half an hour, to talk music with me, to talk about, and I sensed in him, you know, that he was also there to try and gen up on how his granddad's legacy was going on, and all these thousands of people coming into Memphis on Elvis week, you know. Obviously, having never known his granddad himself, you know, he'd only been on the planet 24 years when I met him back in 2017, and little did I know then he had a scant 3 years left to live. And because I did know him, and I got to know him a little bit that night, obviously my heart ached when the news came through about him, you know. Yeah. But I'll just say this with, I don't want to preach, but with my spiritual beliefs, I do believe that the three of them are united now. And I get happy about that,
Yeah.
So I just didn't want to waste the opportunity to share that little story with you and your lovely listeners on this particular date, So thank you for giving me the time to tell you all that story.
Well, I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody when I say this. That was just a fabulous, fabulous story. Brilliant. Brilliant.
Sorry, I got a bit emotional, but when I think of him, it was such a special evening for me, and he made it special, and what I'm trying to say is he was a great credit to his mother, I don't know his father, Danny Keough, and he might have had a part in that upbringing, but that lad was a lovely, lovely lad, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
A lovely, lovely lad,
Yeah.
He wasn't dismissive of me, and I tend to overtalk anyways,
The little bit I know about him as well, he did seem like a really genuine sort of fella, but obviously he had his demons that obviously we didn't know about at the time. Very sad, but as you say, a great guy as well. Juan, I'm so glad you rang up and shared that story with us. I really am. Thanks for.
Well, I'm glad I have to. It's like a cathartic thing in a way, but
it couldn't have been easy. It couldn't have been easy for you to do that.
No, I did want your listeners to like what prompted me was Priscilla's lovely phone call and how she felt, in that on that particular day. But for me to speak to a guy and not recognize who he was for all that time, I'm a dummy sometimes. But to talk music like that with such a lovely boy, is something I'll take to the grave with me, and it was just one of those wonderful God-given opportunities, I believe. Yeah, and thank you for letting me share it.
Well,
thank you for giving me.
Priscilla's actually left a message actually for you. It says, wow. Thank you so much for sharing that amazing story, Juan. So,
bless her.
Yeah.
Bless her.
Yeah. And
well, God bless you all. And keep the good work up, Steve. I love what you do. And may it continue.
Yeah,
I wish you had more questions in the quiz because I'm catching up with Dylan. I'm always about 0.100th of a second behind him now.
I know.
He's a mate of mine anyway, and he's a lovely kid.
Yeah. What was I say to you? And you keep up your good work as well. If people aren't familiar with Juan's work as well, you should check him out because he's a great singer and musician. Juan, I love everything that you do. I really do.
Thank you, Steve.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
Yeah. Bye. God bless you, buddy. Bye-bye. God bless you all.
Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, that I could tell, in his voice that he was struggling there at times with the emotion of relaying that story to us about Benjamin, and what a great story, bumping into Benjamin Keough and not recognizing who he was, and obviously it played to his advantage because Ben became comfortable with Juan and shared some time just talking about music. So brilliant, yeah. And Juan, all I can say is thanks again for that. It was really, really good. Story. Right, we were in 1957, I believe. No, 1960. We'd done 1957, and I said he didn't want to record in Nashville. So Elvis started with his first session in 4 months at Radio Recorders, working from noon to 7. And he recorded on this day in 1957, I believe, Tell Me Why, Got a Lot of Living to Do, and All Shook Up. Yes, that little number called All Shook Up. Before I go any further, Olga Ann left a super chat. Thanks very much, Olga. And I will just reiterate what I said at the start of the show. If you haven't seen Rick's Elvis A to Z channel, he's done a video on Olga Ann visiting Graceland, and there's some great pictures on there. So thanks, Olga. Now, 1958, Elvis en route to Hollywood to begin work on King Creole. 1960, Elvis, Joe Esposito, Cliff Gleaves, Lamar Fike traveled to Paris. During this visit, they attended 5 karate classes given by Tetsui Marukami, a Japanese teacher of the Shotokan technique. I think I did well with those. Wild in the Country in 1961. 1964, we've got Elvis arrived on his motorcycle. Yeah, here it is. What a fabulous shot this is. Elvis arrived on his motorcycle at the RCA Studio B in Nashville at 6:30 p.m. He started the 5-hour session by sending out for Crystal Hamburger order for everybody. After re-recording Ask Me and Memphis, Tennessee from the May 63 session, he delivered a moving performance of It Hurts Me in just 2 takes. Amazing. Take 1 was complete. Take 2 and 3 and 4 were false starts. And take 5 was the master. Unbelievable to think that he polished off It Hurts Me in just 2 takes. 1973, Elvis, yes, of course, Elvis performed the rehearsal show of the Aloha from Hawaii concert. The show started at 8:30 p.m. and this was billed as the dress rehearsal and taped in case there were problems with satellite transmission the next night. Let me just have a look at that. That's what I want to see. There he is. There's another photograph of him. We can always tell the difference between the rehearsal show and the actual satellite show because his hair is different. He had a haircut and restyle between the rehearsal and the actual broadcast show. No admission was charged, but contributions were expected and a goal of $25,000 for the Keough Cancer Fund had been announced. And 1974, another great photograph. Elvis arrived at Memphis International Airport to catch a flight to LA. Along with Red West and Ricky Stanley, he was flying to the West Coast to begin rehearsals for the next Vegas season that would begin on January 26th. And I'd just like to credit Keith Alverson with that photograph. Great photograph, that. So that was this day in Elvis history. And of course, we've got another one of these.
Hidden Elvis, clue number 3.
Okay, Hidden Elvis, clue number 3. To go with VistaVision and July the 9th, clue number 3 is 3 seasons. What do you think of that? 3 seasons. It'll all become clear, don't worry. Right. We've got I Wish Elvis Had Recorded, suggested by me. I've suggested it this week, but you can send your suggestions in for this. And like many of us, Don McLean suffered through difficult passages in his life, many of which are reflected in his music. He wrote and recorded Empty Chairs when his marriage was failing. The title appears only once in the song, showing up in the last verse in the line, "and empty clothes that drape and fall on empty chairs." McLean chose the symbol to sum up his feelings and state of mind at the time. The title is inspired by Vincent van Gogh's painting of Empty Chairs. McLean sympathized with Van Gogh and admired his paintings as revealed in his song Vincent, recorded on the same album, American Pie, released in 1971. I adore this song, and I think I'm in the minority when I say it's my favourite track off the album. Most pick either the title track or Vincent, but nope, Empty Chairs is my favourite off this album, American Pie. So I'll leave a link below for Empty Chairs, and you can let me know what you think, whether a yes or a no. Would Elvis have done a good job? Could you hear Elvis singing this song? I certainly can, and I wished he'd have recorded it. I really, really do. Right, we move on to this.
It's time now for Caption the Photo.
It was this one. And I think Dylan provided this for me. Thanks very much, Dylan. And these are some of the ones that I liked and got good number of likes as well, but didn't quite get the total amount that the winner got, as voted for by you. I've had it with the Colonel. Bless me, Charlie. I think I'm going to sneeze. Where is my Gibson guitar? Charlie, I need my Gatorade now. I told you without jalapenos, and I've got a painful, stingy feeling going on. But as I say, voted as a winner by you, Mega Donkey, and it is Charlie, you're standing on my foot. So congratulations, Mega Donkey, for that. And I'll be doing another caption this photo next week on the community tab on this channel. Now, will we do... Yes, I will close the poll. I'd be interested to see what it is. Now, let's have a look. What did you think of the birthday proclamation ceremony at Graceland? End poll. Okay. And I see that disappointed that there were no family there, 58%. Good, I enjoyed watching it, 21%. And believe it or not, 19% of people haven't watched it. So that's the outcome of the poll. Disappointed that no family were there, 58%. Good, I enjoyed watching it, 21%. Didn't watch it, 19%. Now, as I said, the only thing I would say is the fact that there was no family there, especially Riley and maybe the twins and so forth, might have been because of what was happening out in California. I still ask the question, why isn't Billy asked? And things like that. Let bygones be bygones. If there was ever problems in the past that EPE had with Billy, then surely they can see past that now. There we have it. That's the result of the poll. Now, we've got underrated Elvis song chosen by Scott Carpenter. Hi, Scott, if you're watching. Thanks very much for sending this in. Shake a Hand is a 1953 song written by the trumpeter and band leader Joe Morris and originally recorded by Faye Adams, whose version stayed number one on the US Billboard R&B chart for 9 weeks. The song, which has a strong gospel feel throughout, depicts a reassuring new lover making promises. Just give me a chance, I'll take care of everything. Elvis recorded his version on March 12th, 1975, between 4 and 7 a.m. at RCA Studio C, Hollywood, during a 4-day recording session that would become the Today album and would be released on May 7th the same year. Let's have a look, see how we got on recording it. Shake a Hand, take 1, complete. Take 2, complete. Take 3 was the master. So we only did 3 takes of Shake a Hand. And then the overdubs brass part re-recorded on April the 8th. Backup vocals on April the 9th. Brass overdubs on April 10th. I think that should read... Oh, no, hang on a second. Bass part re-recorded on April the 8th. That's because Duke Bardwell's bass was removed. Because I think the only one that wasn't removed from these sessions was Trouble. And that's only because they didn't have time to do the overdub because they wanted to release Trouble. So his bass was removed on April the 8th. Backup vocals were overdubbed on April the 9th. And brass overdubs on April the 10th. So thanks, Scott, for suggesting Shake a Hand, and I'll put a link below that in case you're not familiar with it. Now,
Hidden Elvis, 4th and final clue.
4th and final clue is Technicolor. Okay, so is there anybody would like to type in to the chat what they think it is from VistaVision, July the 9th, 3 Seasons and Technicolor. Pat Shepard says Loving You. Jenny O'Connell says Loving You, as does Ruth, as does Tracy. Yeah. So all those people are right. Juan says Loving You. Yes. Originally titled Running Scared, I think. Yeah. Mrs. EAP. Edwidge. Well, I tell you how I arrived at that. It was shot in VistaVision. It was Elvis's first movie in VistaVision. It was released on July the 9th. 3 seasons, when he sings Winter, Summer, Springtime too. And of course, it was shot in Technicolor, his first Technicolor movie. So that was the hidden Elvis from this week. Vincenzo says, loving you as well. Den for you says, loving you. Well done to everybody that said loving you. And there will be another hidden Elvis this time next week. Now, before we do the Smoking Hot, I just want to say that it's not the last thing we're doing tonight, because I want to also just cover something about Lisa Marie on the anniversary of her passing. So after we've done the Smoking Hot, there will be just a very, very short interlude about Lisa as well. So if you normally get to leave as soon as I do the Smoking Hot one, just hang on for a little bit longer. Also, I would ask you, if at all possible, if you're new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, then please click the subscribe button and also click the bell and turn it black to select the all notifications. And of course, you can send in your ideas as well. Underrated songs, smoking hot photos, songs you wish Elvis had sung live or at the piano, and so forth. Right, so are you ready for...
Oh, he's so hot.
Because this is it. This is a close-up from the 1968 NBC TV special. And it's when he picked up the guitar and did a jam of Baby What You Want Me to Do. And as he turns around sideways, the camera catches him. And that's the look he's got on his face. And I'm pretty sure there's ladies out there now saying,
oh, he's so hot.
In fact, Pat Shepard has just echoed that. And Jill Brett says few. Margaret says smouldering. Ruth says, I'm putting away Christmas decorations now. I know, it's kind of sad, isn't it, when that happens. Tracy says, what a profile, like a Greek god. Yeah. Great nose, says Juan. Yeah, great profile. Stunning, gorgeous. We could go on and on and on and on. The winners of the Fan of the Month quiz for... now, I hope she's still watching, because Susan S., you were the winner of the December Fan of the Month. So if you'd like to contact me, and we'll arrange a prize to get to you. So she won the December Fan of the Month. And who won the November? The winner for the November was Dylan. Congratulations again, Dylan, for being the November Fan of the Month winner. So I promised I'd do that for you. Now, Lisa Marie. Yes, this is a particular... there was a lot of photographs posted today and yesterday, and sort of coming up to today, with it being her anniversary. And this is a particular one I liked. In loving memory, Lisa Marie. I just thought that was a lovely shot of her. But there's another thing I wanted to read out as well, which was this one. And it says, Lisa Marie, you were a woman who touched the lives of so many. You were more than just a child to the greatest entertainer of all time. You were thrust as a young age into the spotlight. You were a daughter, a mother, a friend, and kept the Presley family legacy intact. Just 54 years old, we are devastated and heartbroken by your loss, our loss. We became good friends with your family over the last 7 decades, and for the rest of our lives, we shall have the lasting memory of your impact. And that was written by Julie and Hal Lansky. So I thought that was a really nice tribute to her. And so I really wanted to end with that and say happy birthday, Elvis. Rest in peace, Lisa Marie, and also rest in peace, Elvis, as well. So that's it on a very emotional night. Thanks very much for joining me. We'll be back again the same time next week with more of the same and maybe a few little extras as well. Thanks to Dave and Brent for moderating, and it's over to Al.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.